Hello, I'm Keith and welcome to another Home Media Minefield, helping you with information to navigate the complexities of home cinema and home media entertainment. Today's episode is slightly different in the fact that I'm going to look today at the DVD release of the original Star Wars Trilogy limited edition. This is the edition that includes the original cuts of the films. Unfortunately not in high def, it's standard definition, and there are some drawbacks as well to the presentation of this which I'll dig into, but I wanted to cover this today because I do get asked quite a bit about the original Star Wars Trilogy and my thoughts on the various releases that there's been over the years. These limited editions were 2 disc. They included the 2004 DVD release of the trilogy, which was the special edition, but again with some changes even more for the 2004 release. They had changes such as the Emperor in episode 5 had been changed to be Ian McDiarmid. The model used for the CGI Jabba the Hutt in the previous special edition release had been updated and improved. So there were even changes to this, and since it's gone on Blu-ray, there have been even further changes, like rocks in front of R2-D2 when he's hiding from the Tusken Raiders, etc. So it's constantly going through changes, and even the streaming version that Disney Plus has now has a bit where Greedo says McClunky before shooting at Han. So it's forever changing, and many people wish that the original versions were still available, which is what's prompted me really to talk about this today, because they are in effect. Now, even though these say limited edition, they are still available. You can actually get them on Amazon still, and I'm going to put links down below of where you can find these. So they are still readily available, even though they were always promoted as a limited time only release. Obviously they're not still making these, but there's enough stock out there that you can still actually pick this up if you specifically want these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down in the way that I usually do with physical media reviews. So to start with the packaging, if we actually have a look at the way these were done, all 3 films, what they've kind of done, which I quite like, is for the picture on the front, they've taken a mixture of publicity stills and photographs from production on set and kind of put them in to match the original artwork of the release posters. And they've done that for all 3 films, which I think they've done quite a nice job of. They've also, in terms of the spines, whereas the previous 2004 release were black with silver writing, with this they've gone with the black with the gold writing, so it matches the episodes 1 through 3 that was also released on DVD. So when they're in the rack, this says 4, 5 and 6, and they match. The only thing I'm not so keen of with the UK version, and something that we do here in the UK, is we have BBFC certificates on not only on the back and front, but we also get them on the spine, which is a bit annoying because in the case of this, all of the original trilogies are U certificate, but Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are PG for some sort of strange reason, and Revenge of the Sith is a 12 because of, you know, some of the scenes in that. So when they're all in the rack together, the spines don't match exactly and actually look better if you've got the US Region 1 versions. I think the same thing with the certificates also apply to the Region 4 Australian versions, and of course you've got the European certificates on here as well. So that's just a niggly nitpicky thing about the packaging, but as I said, I kind of like what they've done. Otherwise they've got limited edition here at the top, and the main discs on these are THX remastered for picture and audio. Once you get inside these, they actually are 2-disc editions, again with different artwork on each disc. And the first disc is the remastered special edition version of the film, with the second disc labelled as the bonus disc being the original theatrical version of the movie. And the same for Jedi. They also have these inserts that have the chapter stops, etc. on them. Now for the video quality, and this is where things are slightly disappointing. Obviously, of course, these are DVD, so they're standard def anyway. But as I mentioned, the first disc, the main disc, did get a THX picture remastering and a 5.1 audio mix. Quite a nice job was done on those to make the film obviously look and sound the best it could be at that point. Unfortunately, though, the second disc, which is essentially the original unaltered trilogy, is taken from a 1993 Laserdisc scan. So, for starters, it's not actually anamorphically stretched to fit a 16:9 television. It's still in its 2:35:1 aspect ratio, but it is actually a 4:3 letterboxed version. So you either have to watch it in a small box on the screen, or you have to blow it up to fill the screen, and obviously by zooming in like that you lose some of the quality, so that's a shame. And obviously the transfers that were done for the Laserdisc were not fantastic transfers anyway, so they haven't gone to any of remastering with that. And also it just features the normal Dolby 2.0 soundtrack, which, to be fair, is what the films were released in for the first time at the cinema anyway. But yeah, no remastering has been done on either the picture or the sound. Having said that, these are absolutely the original versions of the trilogy. You know, for Star Wars, there is no Episode 4 New Hope. It's just Star Wars. There are none of the additional scenes. There's no CGI Jabba the Hutt or CGI anything for that matter. And Greedo shoots first. So Empire Strikes Back is... you know, without the Cloud City backdrops and without Ian McDiarmid playing the Emperor. Return of the Jedi, you don't have a CG animated Salak pit monster. This time you just have the pit, and you have the Nub Nub song at the end with the Ewoks. So everything was as it originally was. But as I said, unfortunately, in terms of audio and picture quality, it's not great. It is essentially a letterboxed 4:3 transfer, but it's included. In terms of special features, the first disc does include audio commentaries on all 3 films. The audio commentaries feature segments from George Lucas, Carrie Fisher, Ben Burt and Dennis Muren. These are scene-specific commentaries. They weren't all recorded in one go with all of these people together. They are different interviews that are joined together and put over this as an audio commentary track. Although, to be fair, there is some very interesting information and anecdotes within these 3 commentaries, and they're obviously featured on the special edition versions of the film. And there's also some interview footage from Irving Kershner on the commentary track of Empire Strikes Back. There are no other additional special features other than a trailer for the Star Wars Lego game, and there is some DVD-ROM content if you've got any way of playing that back, which is just some production notes, etc. from this. So not a fantastic release, but if you do want to get your hands on the original versions of the original trilogy, this is the way of getting it, although obviously it comes at a price of not being very well remastered. And even though these are called limited editions, they are still available. So I'll put some links down in the show notes below of where you can actually go and buy those if you wish to get hold of them. And that brings us to the end of another home media minefield. So I hope you found this one interesting. As I said, people do ask about Star Wars a fair bit, and as I said, it's got quite a history. It could be quite a long episode to try and cover all the versions, but I thought that this is kind of almost forgotten about now, that the original versions did exist for a short time on DVD, and I thought it was worth mentioning. So if you did find this interesting, please do like, subscribe and hit the bell icon. I do review different home media movies and TV shows every week, and if you've got anything in particular that you'd like me to cover, please do put it down in the comments section below, and I will add it to the list and get to it whenever I can. But in the meantime, I really thank you for your time today, and I will speak to you next time. May the Force be with you.